Hi my friends, we were discussing goal setting. I asked you what's your style. I asked you whether you are a self-initiated person or self-controlled person or others-initiated person and others-controlled person. This is the beginning of goal setting. Goal setting cannot be others-initiated and others-controlled. Goal setting, the ideal goal setting should be self-initiated and self-controlled. That is the ideal goal setting. Or perhaps others may initiate. Maybe your father, your mother, your sisters, brothers or your friends may suggest to you, you seem to be having an excellent voice, why don't you become a voiceover specialist? And one day you start thinking, yes, I think that he's right. But then you start controlling. Just by giving an idea, he cannot start controlling you. This is very difficult. This is where many goal setting exercises fail. You know one thing? Goal setting is not done on a piece of paper. Goal setting is done in your mind, in your emotions, with a strong feeling of attachment. That's goal setting. You can choose any profession. One of my proudest moments in my life was when I met this legend to give a copy of my book, The 365 Exciting Ways to Live. That day was a memorable day in my life. I am in between two big legends. On one side, Dr. and Mrs. YGP, the founder of the Padma Seshadri group of schools. On the other hand, on the other side, is the god of cricket. Whenever my emotions are down, whenever my feelings are down, this photograph will pep me up. Now, why am I showing this photograph? Let me give today's Indian Express. I saw this news item. This is about Mohammad Siraj. Recently, he made history. At 26 years, he has hit the headlines, 5 wickets. And I was reading this very closely. I have highlighted it. Until the age of 7, he had not even touched a cricket ball. He was playing with tennis ball. And through hard work, the IPL, through a tragedy, through a racial abuse at Gabba, he went to fight his father's dream. Actually, after he landed in Australia, a week later, his father died. That's why I'm telling you, goals are not written on a piece of paper. Your costliest computer or your costliest laptop cannot assure you your goal realization. That's what Dr. Abdul Kalam said. Dream is not what you get in the night. Dream is that which makes you not to sleep. And if you read this, he says his father's dream was one day he will play for the world. And he says, I wish my father had been alive today. See, after all, you can make your goal with this. You go to any sports shop, you'll be able to get a bat. You can go to any sports shop and get a ball. You can take any field. You can take any field, or you have a table tennis bat and a ball. Or you take 50 rupees with you, go to a fancy shop, you will be able to get a chessboard. Nothing, you have a pen. That's it. A ball pen, not more than 2 rupees, you can become a writer. J.K. Rowling was traveling from Manchester to London. On that day she was travelling, she was on unemployment doles from the government of England. That day she gets an idea, why should I not write a novel? And she sat in a tea shop in front of a 7-storied multi-star hotel to write her first book. More than 30 publishers refused to publish her book, and one person came forward. And today she is within the top 15 richest people of England. The second book, you know where she wrote? She booked a room, a suite in the same 5-star, 7-star hotel and wrote the second book. That is goal setting. Goal setting is taking interest in any profession and dreaming like what Siraj Mohammed did, like what Tendulkar did, like what Vishwanathan Anandan did. Goal setting, I am very, very clear about it. In fact, for the past 4 decades I have been teaching time management. Actually, this series of episodes on time management is my thanksgiving to the profession which made me what I am today. In my workshop, I used to ask people to write down their goal, a 10-year goal, 5-year goal, 6 months and 7 weeks, a weekly schedule, daily to-do list. I thought that is more than sufficient for goal setting. Then later on I realized that is only an intro. That can give you only a spark. So, I am going to discuss with you something very, very important. I am going to take a piece of paper and a pencil. In fact, in all my sessions, you better do that. Because just by listening to this series of episodes or any motivation talk is not going to make things better. Let me explain some important terms. Please write down this word role, R-O-L-E. Write down this word goal, task, activity. Many of us confuse an activity with a task with a goal with a role. Let me clarify this. I interviewed over 500 people to write my first book, The Gift of Time. I asked them one question, come on, tell me, what is that made you as successful as you are today? And they said, well, we worked hard. And in fact, they won't say that they worked hard because so humble they are. But I noticed their day is full of activities. And I said, I am also working hard. I also work about 14 hours a day. If they are not sleeping, I am also not sleeping. But then I realized their activities are relevant. Relevant towards a task. Task is a result. Let's say a simple activity like jogging, or let us take a simple activity like walking. Next time you find somebody walking, see how they are walking. And certainly they will say, we are walking because we want to get rid of the unnecessary flesh. Or they will say, we are jogging in order to become fit. But an activity should be systematic, should result in a result, and that is called the task. Supposing you are learning a new language and you are writing the alphabet, you should ask yourself at the end of next 1 week, what is that I want to achieve? and the task is I should become familiar with the alphabet. Or you are listening to Hindi news or English news or any new language you want to learn. You should ask yourself, why am I listening? The answer should be, in 10 days time I should become familiar with pronunciation of words. So I want to learn a language, and so I am writing. I want to learn a language is the task. I am writing, my handwriting is a task. Then I ask the successful people, who decides your task? They said, our goals will decide our task. So they will say, I have various goals. One of my goals for the next 6 months is I should become proficient in this particular language. Or you go and ask Mohammad Siraj, he will say the next 6 months I should improve my bowling this way. Or you go and ask PV Sindhu, she will say the next 6 months I am aiming at this particular tournament. And then they will link their activity. So there are a lot of goals. Goals are long term, tasks are medium term, and activities are that which fills up your time. An activity can be seen, a task cannot be seen. Then I asked, who gives you your goals? They were very, very clear on that. They said, our roles. Our roles. I have so many roles, they say. All of us have more than one role. Let me give a simple example about myself. I have a role in this moment of time. I'm a YouTuber. That's my role. I have a Tamil monthly magazine. I'm an editor. I'm heading a school. I'm a father to my daughter, grandfather to my grandchildren, husband to my wife, son to my mother, friend to my friends. All these things are roles. I own a dog. Again I have a role. I write books. I am a writer. Again it is a role. So I have all these roles. All of you will also have a role. More than one role. And these people are very, very clear what they should do with respect to their goals. So they have a long-term goal. For example, let's say that you are an executive, you are a purchase officer in a company, you can have a goal. In about 10 years time, I want to become a vice president of the company. We are going to see this in elaborate detail a little while later. Then I asked these successful people, are you not feeling tense? You have to manage all these roles? They said, yes, we also feel tired. But then what motivates you? Then they were very, very clear, their mission in life. Their mission in life. For example, my mission in life is to make a difference in others' life. If my mission is to make a difference in others' life, it makes a lot of sense to do YouTube videos. It makes a lot of sense to have a magazine. It makes a lot of sense to head a school. It makes a lot of sense to write a book. And so you need to look at the goal from this total perspective. And so what happens? You have a mission, you have a goal, you have a task, you have an activity. So this has to be a totality of what all you do. That's called goal setting. So again, I am telling you, goal setting is not just written in a piece of paper. It's not one day you come to a workshop and then you write and it registers. You need to ask yourself, why am I doing? What am I doing? Let us go in detail into this episode in the next episode.